Hello everyone, how are you all? I hope you all are fine. Welcome to our English class. Today we are going to study session number 2 of module 8. Alright, and in that we are going to study tenses. What are we going to study? Tenses. And how many tenses? 3. Okay, so first is simple present tense, second is simple past tense, and third is simple future tense. Alright, so let us see why and when we use simple present tense. Okay, so let us begin with the simple present tense. Alright, I have mentioned here simple present. Okay, now my dear children, what do you mean by simple present tense? Means whenever we want to talk about the present. Okay, that time we use the simple present tense. See, it is mentioned here. Simple present tense describes habits, events and actions that happen regularly or things that are always true. Now what simple present tense describes? Simple present tense describes the things that happen regularly. It can be actions, it can be events. Okay, for example, I brush my teeth daily. Okay, I brush my teeth daily. Alright, so this is in simple present tense. Okay, now we can give some more examples also, that he plays football every day. Okay, now it is the regular thing. Okay, now it is also said that simple present tense also describes something which is always true. Now, I'll give you an example of that also. Like, sun rises in the east. The sun rises in the east. Now, can it be changed? No, it is the universal truth. Alright, and it cannot be changed. Do you think sun will rise from the west? No, sun always rises in the east. Okay, so that's why it is the universal truth. Now we see stars in the night. Okay, now this is also a universal truth because stars cannot be seen in daylight. Alright, okay, so this was about simple present tense. Now we have some rule while writing the sentence in simple present tense. Okay, we have a particular rule for all the tenses. It is not about only simple present tense, but it is for all the tenses. So let us see the rule for simple present tense. Alright, see here, the rule for writing simple present tense is, first of all, we have to write the subject. What do we have to write? We have to write the subject. Now what do you mean by subject? Subject means something or someone who does the action. Okay, it can be a name of people, place, thing, okay, or animal. It is something or someone that does the action. Now next, base verb. Now what do you mean by base verb? Base verb is a verb that shows the action, like play, eat, drink, jump, talk, walk. Okay, so these are the base verbs. Okay, now why we have mentioned base verb over there? Why we haven't mentioned only verb? Because there are many types of verbs, right? We have seen in our previous sessions like helping verbs and modal verbs. Okay, we have seen this in our previous sessions. Okay, so that's why I have mentioned base verb over here. Alright, now we are not only writing base verb. Sometimes we are adding s or es to the base verb. Like play will become plays, eat will become eats, okay, drink will become drinks, okay. So this is how we add s or es to the base verb. Alright, and at the end of the sentence what will come? Object. Object means the thing or someone, okay, who receives the action. The action done by the subject is received by the object. Alright. So this is the rule for writing the simple present tense. Subject plus base verb plus s or es plus object. Okay. See, we have written here. Now add s or es to the verbs that follow he, she, it and singular nouns. Now what is he, she and it? He, she and it are pronouns. We use he instead of a male noun. We use she instead of a female noun. And we use it instead of a thing or an animal. Alright? So my dear children, whenever we have to write the base verb with s or es, we have to add s or es if it follows. Who the base verb follows? He, she or it. Okay? If the base verb is followed by he, she or it and singular nouns. Now singular noun means what? Singular noun means only one thing, one person or one animal. Like the dog, it also describes only one thing, right? One animal. Dog, or you can say the pen, or you can say the girl. Okay? So these are singular nouns. So whenever we have singular nouns or he, she, it, that time the verb will be added. We will add s or es to the verb. Okay? Now let us see next. Do not add s or es to the verbs that follow I, we, you, they or plural nouns. Now, if a verb is followed by means if it comes after, okay? If it is followed by I, we, you, they. I, we, you, they. These are also the pronouns. I is used whenever we talk about ourselves. You can be used for singular as well as plural noun, right? Now they is used when we are talking about many people, and we is used when we are talking about many people including us. Alright? So whenever the base verb is followed by I, we, you, they or plural nouns like the girls, the dogs, okay, or you can say the pens. So that time what we have to do, we do not have to add s. Alright? So let us write one example of it. Okay? I will give an example. So we go for walk every morning. Alright. Now what have I written here? We. Okay. Now we is the subject. Now we is, if the base verb is followed by we, that time we don't add s or es, or it would have been goes, right? So as it is followed by we, that's why we have not added s or es. Okay, so we go for a walk, every morning. We go for a walk. Go is the verb, and for a walk every morning is the object. Alright? So understood? This is the sentence we have written in present tense. Simple present tense. Let us write one more example. Okay? He. Now we have written he. He is the subject. Now we can write watch. Watches. Watches. Now here, watch is the base verb and I have added es because the base verb is followed by he. Understood? So he watches a movie every day. He watches a movie every day. Okay? So he is subject, watches is a base verb, and a movie every day is an it is an object. Okay? So my dear children, now I hope you have understood simple present tense. Now let us move towards simple past tense. Okay? Now in simple past tense, we have to see that when do we use simple past tense. Now past means what? Past means the action which is already done, or it is already completed, or it is already finished. Alright? So it describes actions that are finished or completed. Okay? Now what past tense describes? It describes the actions that are already completed. Alright? So my dear children, last year you were in 3rd or 2nd standard, right? This year you are not. You are not in 2nd or 3rd standard, right my dear children? So it is the action that is completed. Okay? Or I can say that I ate dinner. Now dinner is already been eaten yesterday. I ate dinner yesterday. So here the action is completed. That is an example of past tense. Alright? Now the past tense forms of words are made by adding d, ed or ied for some words that end in y. Okay. Now my dear children, whenever we want to write the past tense form of verb, we just simply add d or ed. Okay, if the base verb ends with e, okay, that time we add d. Alright, and if it ends with any other consonant, okay, that time we add ed. Alright, and when do we add ied? We add ied when the word ends with the letter y. But it is not in all the cases. Okay, I'll give you an example. Suppose I write study. Now over here, for study, y is at the end. Okay, letter y is at the end. So it will be replaced with ied when we have to do its past tense. So study will become, we have to skip this y now. Instead of that we have to write ied. So study will become study. Okay, but not in all the cases, right? So if I write flight, so over here it is also ending with y, right? It is also ending with y. But now what will be the past tense of fly? The past tense of fly will be flew. It cannot be flied, right? We cannot replace y with ied. So it is in few cases only. Understood? And sometimes when the word ends with a vowel, okay, that time also we cannot add y. Okay, my dear children? Yes. Now we will write example about the past tense. Alright? Let us see what is mentioned again. In simple past tense, the following happened. Is and am become was and are become were. Now these are the helping verbs. Am is, are, was, were. Okay. So if it is and am in the present tense, then it will become was in past tense. And if it is are, then it will become were in past tense. Okay. Now my dear children, let us write some examples. Like we will take this examples itself. Okay. We go for a walk every morning. Now suppose if your friends came in the evening and asked you about the morning walk. Okay. Then what will you tell? That we, now this is example of simple present. Right. Now I give you example of simple past. So we now go. What is the past tense form of go? Yes. Now here we have to use the past tense form. So we can write went. We went for a walk. What can we tell? Last morning. Okay, so this is how we change from present to past. Now this sentence is written in the past tense. Now here is he. Now here W-A-T-C-H. What is the past tense form of watch? It is watch. We are simply adding ed over here. Watch a movie. A movie. Now he has already watched it, so we can mention yesterday. Okay? Yesterday. Understood? Okay. So now I hope you have understood the two tenses, that is simple present and simple past. Now we will see simple future tense. Okay? Now it describes actions or events that will happen later or in future. It also tells us about promises, decisions or hopes about a later time. Now what does future tense describes? It describes about the things that are not past, that are not going on. Or what happened? It doesn't tell us about these things. Instead, it tells us about, it describes about the things that are going to happen, that are not happened yet. Okay? Means it will happen in future or later. Okay? Means it can happen after some time, like after some minutes, after some hours. Okay? Or it can also happen after some days, months or years. Alright? That is known as simple future tense. Alright? Now, next, it also tells about promises, decisions or hopes. Now sometimes we make promises to our friends. Suppose our friend is inviting us for a birthday party. That time what we do? We say that yes, I promise you I will come. Alright. And we also give decisions or hopes. Now we decide something. Right. Like next month we'll go for a picnic. Okay. So if we want to make any decision which will happen in future or any hope, if we have hopes about something, that yes, I will get good marks in the next exam. Now this is also a hope, right? So this kind of sentences which are going to happen in future are written in simple future tense. Now let us see the rule for writing simple future tense. It is subject plus will, shall. Now this is most important whenever we are writing simple future tense, will or shall is used. Okay? Then base verb and then object. Understood? Sometimes what happens? Whenever we want to talk about the things that are going to happen in future, we also use going to. Like, for example, we are going to the beach next Monday. Now here will or shall is not used. When we use going to, we don't use will or shall. Understood, my dear children? So, let us write some example. One more thing, whenever we want to talk about the actions that are not going to happen in future, okay? That time we use not, after, will and before the base verb. Means in between will and the base verb, okay? For example, will not go. So will is the helping verb, go is the base verb. So in between them we have to use not. Okay? Whenever we want to describe about the things that are not going to happen in future. Like we can say that we will not go to Mumbai next week. Okay? This is an example. Now let us write some example of simple future tense. Simple future tense. So we can write these things only. We. Now we. Here we will. Now we have to use will or shall. So we will go. Now here base verb will be as it is. We will go for a walk. Now we will go for a walk. So we can mention next morning. Next morning. Okay. Now I give you some example about going to. We are going to Delhi tomorrow. Okay. So this is example of simple future tense. So my dear children, I hope you have understood all the three tenses. Okay. If you have any queries or any problem related to today's session, you can contact me. Alright.